Okay, so we're looking at the circle of string-shaped fifths. And notice the little letters help the circle spell caged, C-A-G-E-D, C-A-G-E-D. But if we go every other letter in the caged word, we're going in fifths. So the fifth of C is G, the fifth of G is D, the fifth of D is A, and the fifth of A is E. Remember, these are the string shapes here. So you say the fifth of A is E, so it would count 5, 6, 7, root 2. The fifth of E is the augmented fifth, which is C, string shape, so it's 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how it counts? The fifth of C is G, so we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. And the fifth of G is D, 6, 7, root, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't count directly in the word caged. See, C-A-G-E-D. These are every other letter in the word caged. If we look over here again, we start here with caged. Got 3, 4, 5, but then with A is 5, 6. So they're linked together by the 5, and then 5, 6 is linked together by the 6 with 6, 7 root. 7 root 2 is linked together with 6, 7 root by the 7 root. So it's with caged, they're linked together like that. Here's a short pattern string shape stack. So I call it a short pattern stack. Fifth of C is G, fifth of G is D, etc. And then between C and A, remember the augmented fifth of E is C. It's not the regular fifth of C. Now going down, when we go to C, the fourth of C is E. It's not F. But when we play an F on the guitar, we have the start with the C shape. We have our C shape, and we're going counterclockwise now in fourths. So I call it the circle of fifths because going clockwise, that's its name. Going counterclockwise, the circle of fourths. C goes to the E shape for F, which is his fourth. Then we go from the E shape to the A shape, which is its fourth, which in this case is actually B flat. And then to the D flat, which is actually an E flat. Like that, if we're just going to do that. Or we could pick it up from the regular E shape D, and we can go to its fourth is an A shape, and its fourth is a D shape, and its fourth is a G shape, and its fourth is a C shape. The long patterns, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, work into the picture. They're all part of the roadmap. You're just looking at different sets of numbers here. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Notice 5, 6, 7 has the A shape in it, and 4, 5, 6 has the A shape in it. So we can start on the A shape and finish on the A shape and continue on in fifths like that. And we can look at the 5, 6, 7 shape just as starting on the A shape. Even though the E shape has 7 root 2 here, we can look at it as starting in the E cage. Same thing with this, with the 4, 5, 6. We can look at it as starting in the C cage, even though the C cage starts on the 3. It's its fourth. So once again, with the A, we can start on 5, 6 and end on this 5, 6. Okay, and then when we look at our pattern circle here, the long one. Okay, move me over here. Hey. So we're looking at the same pattern circle, C, G, D, A, E, but now from A to A, like we said, we have the 5, 6, the two 5, 6s here, and we can do this, the long pattern right there. Okay, the 4, 5, 6 would be there. I don't know why it isn't shown there. It should be. Okay, in this case I showed the 4 over here. Alright, but really it would be right here. So we have the same thing going on, and the pattern stack just takes on a different shape. In this case I'm showing the 4 here, root 2, 3, and then the 4, 5, 6, and then we still go into the stack of string shapes there, and then back into the 5, 6, 7 when we get to the A, and on to the E from the A there. So this A right here, and this A right here, and this A right here, 5, 6 are all the same. Just 5, 6 is A. Okay, so we talked about this last time. We have the string shaped circle here, and here it is drawn without the extra long 4, 5, 6, 7. And remember that 4, 5, 6, 7, if you're doing pentatonic, it's still just 5, 6 because the 4th and the 7th are on the extremities. And here's the pattern stack that goes along with this. This is the normal thing to do. And the reason why we have this long pattern stack is because if we're near the capo, we have to play the long stack because we can't get notes back here when the short pattern goes over. You can play the short pattern from at least F. If I want to do an E-shaped stack, it would be okay, but if I wanted to do that in one lower than that, which would be E, it would have to use the long stack. So it would be, we'd start on root here, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. The 7 root 2 were already up here on the circle. Okay, we started here, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we went out of the A to the E shape, 7 root 2. And then 3, 4, 5 for C, and so on. But what's going on with up here? Now we have a long pattern here. We talked about that last time. You can just stick with the long patterns. A good pattern should count root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You just go in a circle here. I just showed it top and bottom so you know what's going on. One goes into the other, and then root 2, 3 goes back into 4, 5, 6, 7. What's going on with these, with this stuff? 5, 6, this is the 5, 6 loop. Okay, so this pattern stack loops. It's a good pattern stack to use for all the chords. So in diatonic, it means all the numbers are on the diagram. The puzzle's put together. You start 5, 6 here, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, and then we go into the long pattern because we want to include the long pattern. Doesn't mean we're going to play the long pattern all the time. Doesn't mean we have to play the long pattern from the capo at all. I'm not taking the capo off for that reason. I could play it up here, I can play it down here. So say we start a 5, 6 here, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, and then warp up 1 fret for 2, 3, 4, up to 5, 6 again. So after 2, 3, 4, we're on this 5, 6, we can go into the long pattern. Well, let's just take a couple of octaves down and go to this 5, 6. So we're going to start the pattern over here so we can keep playing. Now we're going to go 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where are we now? 5, 6. Okay, so we're down at this 5, 6 again. So this is the same thing. You could just pick the pattern up from there. Or you want to play the long pattern where it could be this 5, 6. Now we'll have to do this 7 and then go into root 2, 3. And We can even take that half step